Hi, welcome to my channel. Welcome to the Emmy experience where we talk about everything and anything under the sun. And today's video is going to be on something a little bit different. This is going to be about a excursion that I went on. My experience with paragliding, do I recommend it, and would I do it again? So I'm gonna put in some clips also from my paragliding experience, just so you can see like what it was like for me and get like a visual. All right, well, let's get to it then. I went paragliding last year. I went on a trip to Colombia. I went to Medellín, and I definitely fell in love with that city. So if you're interested in me doing a video recommending things to do in Medellín, leave a comment down below. Also, as well, hit that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate that as well. Okay, so paragliding, it was one of the excursions that was available through my hostel, and it was kind of a cloudy day when the day started. With paragliding, the weather conditions needs to be like A1, so we were kind of upset because we left like around like 11. So in the morning was really cloudy, but you know, sometimes like the clouds clear like the later in the day it gets. They were like, you know, it's okay, like we should still just go up the mountain. That was like a 45-minute drive. So we were kind of upset because the weather just continued to get worse that day. So we thought that we weren't going to be able to do it because since paragliding relies on the wind, and if it's really windy, then we wouldn't be able to do it because you don't crash into a tree, right? So we waited like another hour. They still made us do the like educational like what to expect video. Also, since I did do this out of the country, I don't know if the like guidelines are going to be the same everywhere or if it's even going to be the same like in the US. So that's definitely another thing to take into consideration if you're trying to go paragliding. So then all of a sudden, lo and behold, the sun came out and we were able to go paragliding. We had to go like climb up the hill, and these other guys that were there, and they had like the I don't know what it's called, like the parachute portion of it, like they were setting it all up because we were a group of 4, so they were all like kind of on different sides of the field, and they're all just like laid out, and then you put on your harness and everything. And the way we did it, I don't know if it's always like you're attached to someone, but we were attached to like the instructor. Mind you, I don't speak Spanish, so and my instructor only spoke Spanish. I didn't really think about that part because we weren't really able to communicate with each other like once we were like in the sky. But I'll get to that in a second. Hooked up, we went one at a time. I actually went last, just because I was like, I'm gonna watch all y'all do it first. So I thought it was gonna be kind of like skydiving, where it's like you just kind of you like, well, I guess kind of, I mean you jump off like, so with skydiving you're, you know, jumping out of a plane, but with paragliding you're like running off a cliff. So I just thought, you know, you run, you skate a little bit, and then you go down. But if we were in the air for like, I want to say like 30 minutes, maybe 20, maybe it just felt longer than it actually was. I'm not sure, but once I was harnessed with the guy, we, you know, clipped all up, right? So it's me, the guys behind me, and then there's like 3 of the people who work there. So they're like, okay, you need to run. And I was like, okay. So we're running, and like here's the end of the cliff, and they're making me run to the cliff, and then I get close to the end of the cliff, and then it's just like, oh shit, like my like survival instincts or like primal instincts, whatever you want to call them, kick in, and they're like trying to like stop me. I'm trying to stop myself like jumping off the cliff because it's like, what the fuck am I doing? Excuse me. But that's why there's 3 other people, I guess, to make sure that I wouldn't, or just to like gain the speed. I don't know, maybe both. But then once you like take off, I thought it was gonna be like we kind of go lower a little bit, and then like, I don't know, maybe go, but we actually kind of like started going up, just feeling like a bird. So once you're in the air, that was when the language barrier kind of was a little bit tricky for me, at least, just because I couldn't talk to my guide. Like once you're like in the air, you kind of feel a lot more relaxed. So mind you, like I said, it's a lot longer of a ride than skydiving. So I mean, even though I've never gone skydiving, I feel like I would do paragliding again before skydiving, because you kind of feel like a bird. Like you get to enjoy, like you get to enjoy the bird's eye view, where I feel like skydiving is just like you jump off the plane and then you're just like, you're not really looking at anything besides like the squares on the ground, or I don't know what, right? But with paragliding, it was like, okay, like you're coasting, you know, you can see the top of the mountains, you can see like what's under you, you know, you're kind of like points where like, you know, we're at the same level as the birds, a little bit higher than the birds, a little below the birds. So I thought that was really cool. He did do a portion, which was the portion that scared me because, hello, language barrier. So he was trying to show me free gliding, which means that, because he was controlling the parachute part, so that way we're like gliding over the wind, where free gliding is kind of like you're just going with the wind, so it's a lot more like which was like scary because I didn't know that he knew what he was doing. As you see, like I'm like going like upside down and shit. It was kind of fun, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of fun. Yeah. Only thing that I did not really enjoy about paragliding is the landing. So we're going lower and lower. It was very like controlled and smooth, besides the free gliding portion that he wanted to do, but I'm kind of glad he did because it was a little bit fun, I'm not gonna lie. If you're an adrenaline junkie, you would have definitely thought it was fun. If you're not, well, I guess you wouldn't be watching this video anyways. So the landing, okay. So when you're landing, he wanted me to lift my legs up. So, cause mind you, like he's behind me, but he's like a little bit like above me. So it's like I was technically a little bit lower. It's kind of like, imagine like he's kind of like on my back, but not really, I guess, because we're like, it's like a seat. Like once you're in the air, you get my drift, right? I think you can see it in the video. So I'd lift my legs up, and then you kind of just like fall onto the ground, basically. That's your landing, a crash landing. Which I guess is better than like, you know, landing on your feet, because I feel like, especially if there's two of us, like that's probably not the smartest, because it just become a drop and roll, and that, or like a drop. Yeah, so overall, paragliding, I had a great experience. I really fell in love with Medellín, being in Colombia, and like that city. I felt like that city was just so beautiful and so mountainous. So I'm really glad that my paragliding experience was in Colombia. Again, if you would like me to do a video about the other things I did in Colombia and my recommendations, please leave a comment below. In Medellín, I thought the city was so beautiful. I definitely fell in love there. I definitely want to go back again soon. So I'm really glad that I did it there. I feel like paragliding is gonna be beautiful no matter where you do it, just because you get a different view, angle, perspective of whatever city that you're in. But if you're afraid of heights, it's probably not the best option. I wouldn't recommend it for you unless you're trying to face your fears. Overall, would I do it again? Do I recommend? I definitely recommend it. I feel like I would recommend paragliding over skydiving. I think I said that already, but it's just, it's more enjoyable. I feel like it's less of a, like, I think my heart was only really racing, like running off the cliff and then realizing that I was off the cliff. But then once I was in the sky, I really felt safe. I felt secure. Even though one gust of wind can really just boop, change all of that. But I felt fine. I felt fine in the sky. the landing was just kind of like, it made me a little nervous, like, but once you're down, you know, we were fine. But I definitely would recommend paragliding. I would recommend it over skydiving. I think it only cost me like $40 US to do in Colombia because of the dollar exchange, or like the currency exchange. So I have no idea how much that would have cost if I was in the States to do that. Overall, I hope this video was helpful. I guess the main takeaways are, if you're going to go paragliding, make sure the weather is nice. If you're not scared of heights or trying to challenge that fear, I definitely think you'll find this enjoyable, especially if you don't like the idea of skydiving. I think you'll enjoy paragliding way more. It's a really dope experience. I felt like a bird. I just don't know how else to describe it. Like, I just felt like a bird, and we all want to feel like a bird sometimes, right? Or is that just me? Thank you so much for watching this video and staying to the very end and clicking on my face to begin with. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, because I would really appreciate it, and that way you can stay tuned when I come out with more content.